Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Crypto Warehouse. My name is Mike. Today, it is the 30th of July, 2 days to go before the end of July, and I'm back yet again live. As some people have pointed out, we do have some banging tunes before the show starts, and that's very simply because the Oracle himself writes the songs and produces them. It appears to be an incredibly quiet day in terms of people watching, so we will try and spend a little bit more time looking at the articles and giving you my opinion for those of you that have turned up. What we're going to go through today then is we're going to go through the dollar, the Silk Road FUD. As you will have probably heard of or seen, we've had a lot of noise in the community about why we have retraced. We're going to look at Sunscream. Not going to tell you what that's about. The ETF link combination, we're going to look at Sol, we're going to look at the problem with Compound, and then we're going to look at the fact that Elon has gone soft. But why has he gone soft? What has he gone soft for? That's what we're going to get through today. As I said, it's really quiet. Yesterday, we normally get about 5,000 or 6,000 people watching the show. I think we got 3,000 yesterday. I don't think that's anything else other than the fact that this shakeout that's gone on for the last 4 months now, it's starting to take effect, and people are starting to be basically bored out of the market. They're waiting for a move, they're waiting for something to happen, a spark. I expect when we do get to $74,000, we will be seeing an awful lot more people back on the stream, but as it is, we are really, really low on viewers. However, that doesn't mean we will not be doing the stream as normal. So as you can see in the bottom left-hand corner, we recently broke 150,000 followers. We're up to 151,000 already. The target at the end of the year is 200,000. So if you're watching this on catch-up, please make sure to subscribe or follow or whatever it is you've got in front of you to stay in touch with us. We stream 7 times a week. During the summer, Monday to Friday, we stream at 11 o'clock, and we have a trading stream at 9 p.m. in the evenings, and that's normally on a Monday and Thursday. Tariq is here, however. Hidden Agendas is here, and I do believe Kishan is in chat. That is it. It is so quiet. I cannot believe it, but we will get on with the show. First of all, we'll have a look at the markets, and because it's so quiet, we will probably spend a lot more time nattering than we normally do. Market cap then coming in at 2.4 trillion. I expect that to 4x between now and the end of the bull run. Volume is up to almost 80 billion. That's what you would expect on a Monday, simply because the weekends we do not have stock markets trading. Bitcoin dominance and ETH dominance still coming in at between 71 and 72%. Nothing has changed there. Bitcoin, though, has come in at 66.8, and I'm going to go through why in a minute. It's down 3.8%. I did say yesterday that this was likely to happen, and I'm going to go through the chart later on and explain why. Ethereum, though, is coming in at 33.4. That's not down anywhere near as much. That's only down 1%. Sol has come down to 181. My target for Sol is $200. It's on the cards. We have some stats about Solana in a minute that we're going to go through. And if you notice, it is now the third largest cryptocurrency in the world behind Ethereum and Bitcoin. XRP, the stable coin, is coming in at 60 cents. The 24-hour gainers then, MOG, Bitcoin SV, Book of Meme, Mantra has retraced back up to the upside a little bit. Maker is up, Aave, Jasmine is up. Losers, not too many really. Jupiter has come down to $1.09. Again, I am expecting a vote on Thursday, I think, to reduce the supply of Jupiter from 10 to 7 billion. That's going to have a massive effect on the price. Dog with Hat is down. Helium Near is down, as is Rwave and eCash. So not too many gainers and not too many losers, and nothing really for us to worry about in the short term. Remember, what happened was FUD. Nothing more. Good morning, Solo Sky, and good morning, Chris. Welcome to the stream. Nice to see the regulars in chat today, but as I said, it's super quiet. we have literally like 7 people watching in one place. Normally we have over 30, so I do not know what is going on. Since January 2020, the debt has ballooned by 50% from 23 trillion to 35 trillion. Interest on the debt has skyrocketed, with higher rates averaging around 5%. Interest on the debt is on pace for 1.5 trillion next year, 30% of all of the government revenue generated. Now, this, in my opinion, is a death spiral. A death spiral is where you have to print more money to create more debt, to pay for services, pay for armed forces, whatever it might be. This is the end game for the US dollar unless something dramatic happens. It really is shocking to see that this has happened. Now, don't forget that as well as having the debt spiral, inflation has spiraled as well. So it's not 50%. In real terms, it's probably about 20%. And that's because they've deflated the dollar. Bullish Bull is back in chat. I wouldn't miss you. Thank you, Bullish Bull. I don't know where everybody is today. I don't know where everybody has gone. I noticed yesterday on one of the platforms where we normally get about 4,000 or 5,000. We got 2,000 yesterday. Brogan's stream last night, the Oracle stream last night. I think he barely got to 4,000 people watching him. I mean, these are really bad numbers. So BlackRock's CIO of ETF and index investments discusses the iShares Ethereum Trust and expects we'll see allocation of crypto ETFs in model portfolios by the end of this year and into 2025. Remember, this is short-term noise. What we are seeing now is it's turbulence. It's turbulence. But when these ETFs start to filter into existing funds, you are going to see the mother of all pumps. Not the mother of all guns, the mother of all pumps. So expect that to happen anytime, as he's saying, towards the end of next year into 2025. It's going to happen. It's on the cards. So don't panic too much about these minor price fluctuations. Solana's dominance by market cap hits a new all-time high. Again, we're getting into the point now where we are seeing 71 to 72% for Ethereum and Bitcoin, and now we're seeing the little brother Solana join the pack. If you combine Solana, Bitcoin and Ethereum, you're now looking at 75% of all crypto in 3 currencies. So what is next on the cards is a Solana ETF. It is coming. Expect Solana to go over 5% probably within the next year. Certainly by the end of the bull run, whenever that may be. Maybe that is October, maybe that is November, who knows. Give me 1 second, my mic is playing up. I'm trying to hang it on and it keeps falling off. Not a good day today really so far, is it? Right then, let us move on. And again, I try and remind you on a daily basis, this is the period of time where you can get absolutely wrecked by backing the wrong meme coins. Dog KG. The supply is bundled and liquidity is unlocked. The chance of a rug pull is 100%. Avoid trading this project to protect your crypto assets. Stay safe out there. This happens everywhere. This is why I said yesterday, do not look at a meme coin under $100 million. Don't go and get yourself a $250,000 meme coin. It's only going to end one way, and that is with you losing all of your money. Moving on then. This is more of a no sound. Testing 1, 2, 3. Are you sure? I can hear. Yeah, I can hear. I can hear. Might be at your end, Tariq, but I've definitely got sound here. And I'm playing it on my phone, so I don't know why it's not working. Okay, so this is just a very quick reminder of how politicians, how do you know they're lying? Their lips move. I've said it 3 times in the last week. The public finances in the UK, apparently they are the worst in the world. They are terrible. There's a black hole. However, they've managed to scrape together $20 billion for net zero and above inflation pay rises in the public sector. Again, don't believe a politician when they tell you anything. You have to look at the facts. And the last one of the day. At this point, if you aren't a conspiracy theorist, you aren't very intelligent. Again, everything that is going on around you is an act. And that's what you must remember. Don't look at what is going on, look at why it is going on. India, you have huge storms and rain. Well, all I'll say, Kishan, is try and stay safe. That's the best you can do. We were hit by a storm, what day is it today? Tuesday, Sunday night we were hit by a storm and it got really, really bad. But we didn't get the brunt of it. We just got the corner of it. And it was pretty windy. Everything was being blown all over the place. Tree branches were flying down the road. It was really not very good. Our ex-Goldman Sachs executive predicts a weaker US dollar, rallies for gold and Bitcoin amid macro summer. I was expecting a quiet summer, as I said to many of you. We haven't had that. Former Goldman Sachs executive Raoul Pal is updating his macro outlook, forecasting a weaker dollar triggers rallies for gold and risk assets. Addressing his 1 million followers on the social media platform, Real Vision says that the Nasdaq has most likely finished correcting after bouncing off a major support level. There we go, and there it is. We look at these charts all the time. You see a similar kind of thing with crypto. We're going to go and have a look at the DXY as well, just to show you what he's talking about. Bitcoin is ready to soon break the giant cup and handle and head into the banana zone. Again, absolutely spot on. All this noise you're seeing now is FUD. People trying to FUD you into losing your Bitcoin. And that's not what we want. You hold on to that Bitcoin for dear life, because that is what is going to make you rich. The investor believes that gold is trading within a large ascending channel, potentially heading back to its upper range near $2,500. Gold should see its next leg higher. Why do people flock to gold? Because it is an inflation hedge, or it has been for some time, although Bitcoin is starting to take that mantle. He shares a chart of the US dollar DXY, which I'm going to bring up myself in a minute, so we don't need to worry about that. This confluence of events may take a little more time to play out, or could happen with the FOMC, who knows, but good times are ahead. Now, the FOMC is tomorrow. Tomorrow, Chairman Powell speaks about interest rates. He talks about inflation, inflation in houses, wage inflation, all those good things. Keep an eye on it. Tomorrow could be very volatile. Let's leave it at that. Now, why are we talking about the DXY? I think I brought this up a few days ago, but I'm going to bring it up again. I just want to show you where we are. Why are these charts constantly like this? Okay, there we go. So, the DXY, I've also drawn something very similar to what Raoul Pal has drawn, and that is we've been in this kind of range, bouncing around. We've bounced off this line here, which is basically 106, and what's happened is we've broken down, and that arrow there is where I want it to go. This is a weak dollar. A weak dollar is good for Bitcoin, okay? We want the dollar to break down. When interest rates start to fall, the money printer gets turned back on, we should expect to see a correction to the downside for the US dollar. As we have pointed out, when you look at this period of time here, October last year, when did we start this rally? At the start of October. It ran all the way to January, and that rallying the Bitcoin price to the upside was coincided with a crash from a local top, which was 107.3 on the DXY. We came all the way down to 100, basically 101. So what we want to see over the next 12 months is we want to see this to the downside. And that way, Bitcoin can go on its merry way to 150, $180,000, $240,000, wherever it decides to go. That's what we want to see. Now then, this is the FUD that has been running rampant over the last probably 16, 17 hours. And that's to do with, I've got two articles about this. The Silk Road Bitcoin worth $2 billion continues. That doesn't make any sense. Basically, they moved $2 billion of Bitcoin that was associated with the Silk Road, not hack, but seizure. Now, this is what, and I'm not going to hold it on the screen because of the logos, the US Marshal Service is sending Bitcoin to a platform for custody. Okay, so that's what's actually happened. This has caused the correction. Silk Road Bitcoin being moved, $2 billion. Everybody jumped to the conclusion that Kamala Harris was trying to sell it to ruin Donald Trump. Aliens were landing and people wanted the Bitcoin. The usual FUD came out and it brought Bitcoin down. And we're going to have a look at the chart in a minute. And again, I've given you these levels yesterday, where I expected us to come, what I expected to happen. So we're going to go over that in a minute. They moved 30,000 Bitcoin to a new address. The transfer has been connected to the Silk Road Bitcoin. Before this, the government liquidated 10,000 Bitcoin back in March and then transferred 30,000 in April. The move has sent a shockwave amongst investors that a sell-off may be imminent as Bitcoin fights to stay above 70,000. It never got to 70,000, really, did it? So this is FUD, okay? Let's just clarify this. What happened yesterday was a movement of 30,000 Bitcoin that nobody expected, and it scared the pants off people. Now, what happened was, and again, I was saying this to the Oracle off air. I was saying that whales and moneymakers and market movers, they will use an event to trigger something in the market. And in this instance, it was the movement of $2 billion. That $2 billion movement allowed the moneymakers to shift the market based on sentiment. And the sentiment went from bullish to bearish. And they use this. It's what politicians do all the time. They wait for some good news to announce bad news. Or when something really bad happens, they announce even more bad news, which never makes it to the press. So this dump was caused, in my opinion, by the moneymakers and the market movers taking advantage of this uncertainty and doubt. Now, what I said was that we are putting in lower highs, okay? And we needed to get to approximately 70,800. We got to 70,100, okay? So we never quite made it, but we got rejected at 70,000, and it was a hard no, okay? It was a very hard no. And what we did was we came straight back down. And where did we come down to? We came down to our bull market support band, which is about 65.7 at the minute. And we came down to 65.8. So we've wicked from a lower high straight down to the bull market support band, and we've bounced back up. Now, are we going to see, if we look along this line, are we going to see a bounce here back to the upside? Well, there's a lot of positivity, potential positivity around. The Fed could cut rates tomorrow. That's a positive. Grayscale is getting to the end of selling, potentially selling all of its Ethereum from the Grayscale Ethereum Trust. That's another positive. So we're not in danger. But remember what I had as the video again yesterday. What did I have? I had a bear. And there was a man feeding a bear a little bit of bread. And what did the bear do? It attacked the man and stole all the bread. we have to be very careful that we don't feed the bear. If we feed the bear and there is negative sentiment, then I expect us to break down and bounce off $54,000. I've said it yesterday, I'm going to say it again today. There is still the chance that the Fed doesn't cut rates. Maybe that $2 billion worth of Bitcoin is sold, okay? All of those things have a possibility, but we don't want to feed the bear. There is still plenty of positive news out there which could cause us to bounce, very similar to this bounce here where we moved up. We've come down, maybe we will see this move up again. So I'm not being negative, I'm just giving you my bearish scenario is a retest of 54,000. That's my bearish scenario. My bullish scenario is based on breaking this line, 70,800, has to be broken. If we break 70,800 and we do this, then we are up, okay? That's what has to happen. But if we're not there yet, then what can we do? So let's not be too negative. We've still got to break 70,000. Worst case scenario for me is 54,000. I don't think we're going to break 54,000. In fact, the poll question of the day for the few people watching today, although we've had 13 votes and considering there's only a few people watching, it's not bad. Will we go over $75,000 by the end of August? 77% have said yes. 23% have said no. Remember, smash the like button. Smash the like button and let me know you are here. Say hello in chat. This is possibly the lowest viewed stream we have done in all year. I'm going to say that, all year. I am literally talking to myself today. That's how bad it is. But I know many people watch the stream back after the event, so of course I make that video for them as well as making it for the few people who are watching. Justin Sun calls for China to shift its anti-crypto stance amid Trump's pro-Bitcoin agenda. Sun said that a competitive approach between China and the US in Bitcoin policy would benefit the entire industry. And there he is, Justin Sun himself. He actually watched one of our streams about 3 months ago. We were on a stream. Tariq, you are still here. That's why you're an OG. Kishan, Chris, Solo Sky, OGs. We are here through the storms. We are here with Kishan, who is fighting off the storms to watch the show. And I'm trying to get through this as best I can. I have a video to make this afternoon for a project, which is probably the most complex project I have ever looked at. It is super complex, and I'm going to try and simplify it and break it down for you. Good morning, Drop Dead. Welcome back. I hope you are well. Tron founder Justin Sun has called on China to rethink its policies in response to Trump. Trump has said that they will never sell the Bitcoin. In response, Sun has said China needs to step up. There we go. China and Bitcoin. China was a leader in Bitcoin mining. What happened, though, is the Chinese power grid can't cope with the amount of power needed to mine. So they banned it. Very simple. The country's policy began to shift as, of course, the miners were being set up. However, do not think for 1 minute that China is not mining Bitcoin. Of course they are mining Bitcoin. They are just doing it in different locations. They moved to Kazakhstan. If you look at the top mining locations in the world, or the top companies in the world outside of the ones like Marathon and Riot, you will see a lot of them are Chinese linked. So China is mining Bitcoin. Do not be fooled by that, absolutely. But they are doing it using other people's power grids. Again, they play chess, not checkers. The local regulatory landscape has changed dramatically in 2021 when Chinese Vice Premier Li He announced a crackdown on Bitcoin mining because of the power grid. The People's Bank of China has been developing and promoting the digital yuan. They used that during, was it the Olympics? I think everybody who went to the Olympics was given a card and allowed to use the digital yuan. So that CBDC is in full swing. And Sun's remarks come amid rumours that China might be shifting subtly. We don't know yet. However, Hong Kong is a conduit for China, so it wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. So again, it's a game of international chess. I do not think for 1 minute that China doesn't hold 100, 200, 300,000 Bitcoin. They just don't tell anybody that they own it, in my humble opinion. Good morning and hello to everybody who is watching. If you are new here, smash the like button and say hello. Let me know who you are and where you are in chat. 21 shares boosts Ethereum ETF transparency with Chainlink proof of reserve integration. Again, Chainlink is popping up everywhere. 21 shares has added Chainlink proof of reserve to the Ethereum mainnet to improve transparency for the 21 shares core Ethereum ETF. Chainlink solution provides real-time data on ETH reserves backing the SEEK, publicly accessible via an off-chain reserve feed. Chainlink integration underscores 21 shares growth in the US market and its commitment to transparency in cryptocurrency products. Why is this important? Very simply put, we need to educate governments and companies on how crypto works. We still see people say that crypto is used by criminals. What people forget is that blockchains, especially the likes of Bitcoin and Ethereum and Solana, they are public blockchains. You can see the transactions in real time. We've just seen the FUD caused by the Silk Road, Bitcoin being moved into a custodian, which of course is the highlight of the show today, the Silk Road trip, because the Bitcoin has been on a trip and now it is home. So again, we can see it in real time. So when you see certain people like Elizabeth Warren saying it's used for X, Y, or Z, she is clearly mistaken. The US dollar is the #1 way to transact immoral, illegal activities, whatever you want to call them. The US dollar always has been, or always has been as long as we've all been alive. So when we see companies like 21 shares providing real-time data on proof of reserves, we should applaud them because they are starting to understand. We talked about Van Eck yesterday. The CEO of Van Eck holds 30% of his personal portfolio in Bitcoin. These people are getting crypto. And I do not care about people saying that TradFi is going to come and gobble up Bitcoin and Ethereum and the likes. What were they going to do? Completely ignore a $2.5 trillion asset class? Where would that have got us? Absolutely nowhere. So of course we need to welcome them in and we need to explain how things work and we need to educate them. But when they make the right moves, we also need to applaud them. So proof of reserve, real-time proof of reserve with that feed provided by Chainlink is of course the kind of thing we want to see. So the Chainlink proof of reserve has become the solution of choice for 21 shares due to proven track record. And as I have said many times on here, Chainlink has enabled over $12 trillion in transactions. $12 trillion has gone through Chainlink. This approach not only ensures the reserves are transparent and secure, but also maintains the integrity of the asset and builds investor confidence. Additionally, as a decentralized solution, Chainlink's proof of reserve eliminates central points of failure in delivering the data. So, we like Chainlink. We like 21 shares. We like them even more when they are put together. Now, we're not going to read too much more of that. I'm trying to stay on track today. We're halfway through the show. I think we've got plenty of time to do the rest of the articles. Let's go look at the Chainlink price. Indeed, as Chris has said in chat, if you are here, smash the like button and say hello. So, we have some crucial prices of where we think you should be collecting your Chainlink. Move all this down here. We have, since November, we have a lovely range. And that lovely range is kind of in this zone here, where you can, The thing about Chainlink is it stays in a range long enough for you to dollar cost average in. We've covered it before, but for those of you who are new here, we'll go over it again. Look at that period of time that Chainlink stayed at that price. Okay, from May 22 to October 23, it stayed in that range. Now, at some point, very soon, Chainlink is going to go back over $20. This range here is the price to buy Chainlink. Okay, it has wicked down very briefly, come down to $11 here, $11.21 here, but it's at $13.60. It's up just a touch over the last 24 hours. But when it breaks this bull market support band and holds it, then we are going to see the move up that we've all been waiting for. Remember, it's processed $12 trillion worth of transactions. Every single one of those transactions it has processed, it has taken a fraction of a cent. So it doesn't have to do an awful lot percentage-wise, it just has to do the volume. So where should you be looking to get Chainlink? Well, it's at the price you should be getting Chainlink, which is this range here, which is between $12.30 and I would say at a push probably about $13.70, and we're at $13.60 now. I hold Chainlink. I am not associated with Chainlink. I'm not sponsored by Chainlink, but I do hold it, and I've held it since January last year. I'm very bullish on it. I do think we could see anywhere. My bullish scenario is $100 for Chainlink. My bearish is about 70 to 80. Now, it is a top 20 asset, so that's why I'm not going down the route of saying it's going to 20 or 30x, because I don't want to give you false expectations. So a 7x from here, 7.5x from here is a bullish scenario for me. Have a look at Chainlink. Have a look at what it does. We've made videos about Chainlink as well. But when it gets back above this bull market support band and then uses it as support, it's going to go to $18 and then more than likely going to come back up to this range here. It's going to happen, and you need to be buying these tokens at these prices. There is no point in asking me when the price of Chainlink is here or here if you should be buying Chainlink. Okay? To some extent, we could say the same thing about Solana, which we're going to look at in a minute. People are saying is $180 or $170 or $160 a good price for Solana? Yes, it is. But it was also a great price at $40. And if you've been waiting from $40 to $160, then I don't know what else to do. I'm showing you where is a good price to accumulate these coins. Like I say, you want to be buying these coins when there's blood in the streets. You want to buy these coins when people are hesitant. That's when you want to buy them. When we are breaking out and when we are doing this, you have missed the opportunity that I am telling you about now. So $12, $11, $13 for Link is an amazing price. Even if we go back to all-time highs, let me very quickly show you. Even if we go back to all-time highs, and I do say most coins are not going to go back to all-time highs, but all-time high is $50. So even if we go back to $50, we're 4xing-ish from here. That's not bad for potentially a 12 to 13, 14-month investment. Have a good look, see what you think. We're going to move on. Let's have a look at Solana. Again, we have more bullish news on Solana. As we've said, the $200 mark is going to mark a significant milestone for Solana. And the reason is, if we take a step back, let me bring up a chart for you and explain something which I don't think I'm going to cover the Ethereum chart, but I want to show you this. Where are we? 1 second. Let me go through the Ethereum chart. I want to show you this because history repeats itself. And we like history repeating itself. And that is... Okay. When did we get the Bitcoin ETF? Can you remember? It was about here. This is when we got the Bitcoin ETF. What happened when we got the Bitcoin ETF to Ethereum? It did this. Why did it do that? Because everybody and their aunt knew that Ethereum was going to be the next ETF. Okay? And yes, we have had lower highs, and yes, we need to break this level here on Ethereum. I know all of these things, but I'm not discussing that right now. What I'm saying is the new toy syndrome. Bitcoin was the fire engine, and the little kid was playing with the fire engine. And then somebody offers them a police car, which is Ethereum, and they run off and play with the police car. Solana is the ambulance, okay? And we're going to look at the chart in a minute. But Solana is bang on certainty to be the next ETF, okay? There are people talking about Chainlink. There are people talking about XRP. They tend to be Chainlink people and Brad Garlinghouse. Let's look at some facts. Solana is eyeing $200 amidst rising momentum and bold predictions. Again, we need to take predictions with a pinch of salt. I think I've already said several times, my bearish price prediction for the end of the bull run is $600 for Solana, and my bullish is probably $1,000. You will see people telling you it's $2,500. Do not listen to them. Do not listen to them. It's not going to happen. We are not going to 12x, 13x from here by the end of the bull run on Solana. Nothing is going to make that happen. Cryptocurrency is approaching the 200 level. Chris Burnisk, former ARK Invest analyst, has said it could eventually hit $1,000. A target some viewers overly ambitious. I don't believe so. I think I'm with Chris on this one. His optimism about Solana's future potential has sparked debate amongst the followers. Despite mixed opinions, Solana's recent performance has been impressive. Indicators are bullish. Investors should remain cautious due to ongoing market volatility and closely monitor key technical factors. Do you know what? These articles these days, they're getting shorter and shorter, aren't they? This actually has no content. This is what? Probably 300 words? Who cares? We're going to look at the chart. So, my bearish end of bull run scenario, $600. My bullish is $1,000. I've already made a video about it. I have already made the video some months ago giving you my targets for Solana. Now, do you remember what I showed you a minute ago? And that was the Ethereum ETF. When did the Ethereum ETF go live? Does anybody remember? What date did it go live? Let's have a look. 7 days ago. So it went live about here. Let's call it here. If it went live then, and Solana follows the path of what Ethereum did when the Bitcoin ETF went live, we should expect to see this movement up towards $260, $270. That's what we should expect to happen. Now, Solana has been one of our best coins on this channel since we covered it, going all the way back. We started talking about Solana here. Okay, we were talking about Solana here, which was $15, $16. Let's call it $18. So we've 10x'd. Anyone that's been watching us since May or June last year has 10x'd if they have been buying Solana at the prices we were telling you to buy them at. We had all of these different price levels. We were talking about 50. We were talking about 100. We talked about 124. We talked about 150, 174. All of these prices are still on the chart, and it is still going. Now, there's been a FUD video made about Solana. I'm going to make a response to that today, but I'm only going to make it for OGs because I don't want to get in a tit for tat with the person who made the original video. So I'm going to make an OG response so you guys know what I think about that. Let me put it this way. The video was made by somebody with less than 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. The video is high-end quality, professional creation, edits, everything about it is professional. It looks like a hit piece on Solana. Okay? That's why I'm going to make a review video for it for the OGs so you understand that this is what happens. Remember what happened last year with CZ and Sam Bankman-Fried. Sam Bankman-Fried was paying people left, right and centre to slander and libel CZ and everything he stood for. It's what happens. You can't stop it. However, nothing is going to stop the Solana train, and it's going to move. Currently, we are at the trend line that we've been at since May last year, and we are stuck under it. But do not worry, this could quite easily happen over the rest of this year, and we could be at $240 by the end of October, $250 by the end of October. Remember, again, another example is that our good friend, let me put a line down here, our good friend Cryptos Are Us has suggested that Solana will be, hang on a second, that's right, Cryptos Are Us, George has said that Solana will be here by the end of this year. That's what he has suggested. Now, he could be right. We could 6x in 5 months. However, I don't think so. I think if we end the year at somewhere in this area, I would be delighted. That's $260 to $400. I'd be delighted at that price because it still gives us a 2 to 3x opportunity for next year. Think about Bitcoin getting to $85,000 by the end of the year. That gives us the opportunity to maybe get to 170, 160, 240, whatever it might be by the end of next year. So again, take a lot of what you are told with a pinch of salt. They are George's opinion. These are my opinion. Doesn't mean I'm right, doesn't mean he's wrong. They're just opinions. Everybody's allowed them. You're allowed your own. So Solana for me has done a good job. It was in this downward channel, broke out, bounced off the top of the bull market support band, came down, rallied through, and it's now stuck at the trend line. Again, I'd rather be here at this stage above the bull market support band than a lot of coins which are below the bull market support band. They need to get up and out sooner rather than later. Hello to Anri. Now I've got a question here. How to withdraw from Slurf? I've no idea where your Slurf is. Where have you put your Slurf? Is your Slurf on an exchange? Is your Slurf in a wallet? Where is it? Anyway, we're going to have a quick look. We've got 2 more articles. We've got 15 minutes to go. Plenty of time. And we always have plenty of time when there's nobody watching, simply because there aren't any questions to answer. So then, compound reels as whale voter dominates DAO. Now, what is the inherent problem with a proof of stake system? Money trumps decentralization. If you own 61 million Ethereum, you have the casting vote on any DAO decision that Ethereum has to make in the future. If you own 40% of coins in a project, you pretty much have control over that project. This is the inherent problem with DAOs. They are, very simply put, flawed because they are not built to have boundaries put in place to stop this abuse. The issue is you could create a situation where nobody gets more than 5% of the vote, or 2% of the vote for that matter. But if I hold 50% of the compound tokens, I'll simply create 25 wallets and put 2% in each, and I still get my 51% of the votes. So it's very difficult to stop this from happening. But a DAO is democracy, and if you have the population vote for one thing and you vote for another thing, you have to accept that decision. But in crypto, the richer you are, the more you control, and that's what the problem is for me with Ethereum, or what's going to be with Ethereum. They can't ever switch to a DAO 100%, which means they'll always have a central point of control, which is of course the Ethereum Foundation. So the DAO of crypto lending protocol Compound passed a controversial proposal this weekend, sparking concerns over a potential governance attack. The proposal, driven by a prominent comp whale named Humpy, allocates a substantial portion of Compound's treasury to a yield-bearing protocol controlled by his group, the Golden Boys. So, the proposal 289 passed. This gives 500,000 comp worth $25 million into the Golden Boys Gold Comp Strategy Vault for 1 year, which will then deposit assets into the existing 99-1 balancer comp pool. So, we have a whale who has put forward a proposal, and because of the size of the whale, the proposal will be passed. And that proposal financially benefits the whale by allocating the comp tokens to his own protocol, his own yield-bearing asset. So everybody can see the issue with this, and it happens on every chain, and it is the flaw of DAOs, and it is an issue because when most of these projects launch, the tokens tend to be cents, 5 cents, 10 cents. If you come along with $100,000, you can buy an awful lot of voting power in that DAO. And when things like this happen, it's an abuse of power. So you would need a centralized body to block this type of proposal. 2 alternative versions of the proposal were previously submitted by Humpy. Both were rejected. However, the power struggle has ended up in his favor. The Compound protocol will transfer the tokens on July the 30th, which is, of course, today. The moment the Golden Boys receive them, the group will gain unprecedented control over Compound's governance process and can wield near unilateral discretion in approving whatever proposals they please. The Compound debacle showcases the risk of on-chain token-weighted governance, especially when combined with an inattentive and uninformed delegate base. While it now appears to be too late for Compound to prevent lasting damage from this vote, other DAOs would be wise to learn from this event and remain attentive to their core governance processes. I totally agree that this is a shambles. And this is, as I've said, this is the fault of all DAOs. I don't know how they're going to fix it for Compound, but safeguards can be put in place for other chains. You could probably look at putting in some kind of higher level control, but again, it's a massive problem. And let's take Ethereum for example. Let's say it gets to the point where the ETFs between them own 40 million Ethereum, so they own a third of the supply, and a DAO proposal system is put into place. If that 40 million that's held by the ETFs all vote as a block, they will have 33% of the vote, and that will win them every vote because most people don't vote, and we're all fragmented, and you might have 1 million people with one Ethereum. They've got 40 million Ethereum. So you have to put together at least 45%, 40% to vote against them. And some people might vote for it. So it's a shambles. It's an absolute, utter, unparalleled shambles. Now then, let us move on. We have got 10 minutes left. We'll have a look at some charts in a minute. The Tesla CEO Elon Musk explains why he has got a soft spot for Dogecoin. Very nice, Elon. As the block reported earlier today, Tesla CEO Elon Musk was interviewed on Sunday for an episode of the X Takeover podcast hosted by Tesla owners Silicon Valley. During the hour-long conversation, Musk clarified his position on promoting cryptocurrencies. He emphasized that any apparent promotion should be taken lightly and with humor, stating, "I'm not going to be promoting crypto at most in a joking way. If you see me pumping crypto, it's not me." He acknowledged the potential value in Bitcoin and other digital currencies, but admitted having a particular fondness for Dogecoin. "I've sort of got a soft spot for Dogecoin because I like dogs and memes." On May 30th, he denied having any discussions about cryptocurrency with Donald Trump, the Republican president candidate. There he is. He claims he hasn't. "Pretty sure I've never discussed crypto with Trump, although I am generally in favour of things that shift power from government to the people, which crypto can do." So we don't need to talk about any more of this. I mean, the thing is with Dogecoin, it pretty much is what it says on the can. It's a meme coin about dogs. It's being printed into infinity. I'm not a massive fan of it. I'm not a massive fan of it being the OG meme coin. I think it's served its purpose, and I think there are better meme coins out there. And unfortunately, it is the top dog, if you pardon the pun. And Elon Musk does own a massive bag of it. I don't know how much he owns, don't know how many he owns. There are some people that think they've found his wallet and believe he owns hundreds of millions of Doge, but who actually knows? I certainly don't. Well, that, believe it or not, is the end of the stream as we know it. So we've got 9 minutes left. And normally I would ask you guys in the audience if you have any questions that you want to ask me, any coins you want me to look at. While I go and have a look at the charts, Bitcoin is coming in at what? 66.57. So we need to break above 67,000. I don't think that's going to happen until at least 3 or 4 o'clock this afternoon. So we're pretty safe there. Solana is still hanging around at 181. There isn't an awful lot for me to go through. I think what I'll do is I'll spend about 5 minutes talking about real world assets, because that is kind of a category that you should be looking at adding to your portfolio. Certainly if you don't hold any. So top real world asset tokens by market cap. These are, for those of you who don't know, real world assets are assets that exist in the real world that have been tokenized. That can be anything from the share of a company to an office block to an art piece to a listed building to anything that exists in the real world, a sculpture, anything. Even probably, I'd go so far as to say maybe even a Bugatti or a Lamborghini could be tokenized. The issue is it's a minefield of problems, but there is a silver lining, and that is that people like BlackRock and Larry Fink are starting to look heavily at what projects they should be associating with, what they can tokenize. Larry Fink wants to create a 24/7 tokenized stock exchange in Texas. That's what he is looking for. So how can you take advantage of this? Well, on CoinMarketCap, you can go and you can do a search by category. You type in real world assets or memes or whatever you look for, and it brings this list up. So on here, these are all the assets associated with RWAs. Chainlink is my number one favorite asset. That is 15th by market cap, only got an $8 billion market cap. I expect that to rocket significantly over the next 12 months. Then you have others. If we go down, we've talked about Ondo. Ondo at 98 cents is an incredible price. Mantra has absolutely rocketed. That's coming in at $1 billion. That again has had a great run. Further down, synthetics versions of stocks. Again, something you want to look at if you want to look at them. Further down, I have picked out a couple of these projects that I think you should look at, and I've made videos about them. And further down here, we've got Goldfinch. Go and look at Goldfinch. That is an excellent project. And further down, one of my all-time absolute favorites is Swarm Markets. This is a German-based real-world asset platform. Go and check it out. I think it's going to do exceptionally well in the bull run. Only has a market cap of $50 million. $50 million. So even if it does a 10x, it's still going to be half the value of Ondo and Mantra. And why is that important? Because Ondo is listed on Swarm. Mantra is, well, it's not live yet. So if you're getting into Swarm at $50 million, and again, I'm not sponsored by Swarm, I own probably $100 worth of it. I'm telling you because I think it could have a huge run in this market. So make sure to check out the list on here. Top real world assets. You can do this by anything. You can look at memes. And again, let's look at political memes actually. Not looked at that one before. So these are the top political memes by market cap. Again, you've got to be super careful. Do not look at anything below MAGA. MAGA Trump. Don't know what Constitution DAO is, but I would look at those two. I certainly wouldn't be looking at Baby Trump. I wouldn't be looking at Kamala Harris. I wouldn't be looking at any of those tokens. If you're going to buy a meme coin that's politically motivated, then MAGA and Trump at $5.14 is the one to go for. Remember, I made a video about this 3 weeks ago maybe, and I highlighted the two tokens that I would be buying and what price I would be buying them at. And the first one I would be buying is MAGA. $5.14, my buy price is $5, so we're nearly there. I'd buy that at $5 and then run it up to the election, maybe sell in November, see where the price is in November, maybe hold it till February. But MAGA Trump for me is number one, and then MAGA is number two. And that is pretty much it. I have nothing else to say, and I have no comments from everybody, so I'm actually going to finish early. So thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you for the hardy few that have come onto the stream today. I do not know what is wrong. Normally we have way more than we have on the stream. We've currently got 6 people watching, which is shocking. But again, I think it's the stage of the market. I think people have just been bored out of the market and they're not finding any enthusiasm. So thank you to Chris, thank you to Drop Dead, thank you to Tariq and everybody else that's been watching. I am going to head off now. I have a very complex video to make. I'm going to give it a go anyway. And I will see you all in the morning. Take care and have a great afternoon. Let's hope we get back up towards 68,000 today, this afternoon when the Americans wake up. Take care, everybody.